Hello runners, I wanted to make another video and as always start off with a reminder that running is fun. So I did a little bit of reading and research and I want to answer the question for you today: what is the magic mile and how is it used to customize your training? A magic mile is a fun way of saying a time trial. You can use a stopwatch or your smartwatch or your phone. You don't have to have any fancy equipment. You also do not have to do this on a track. Ideally, you would choose a course that is flat. Ideally, you would choose a 1 mile distance, but this could be a lap around the block. If you have measured this distance and you have an idea that it's 1 mile, you want to do it after you've warmed up. So generally I will walk 1 lap and then run 1 lap, and you are supposed to do this at a perceived exertion of 8 out of 10. You don't want to be puking afterwards, but you will be winded. This can be a part of your regular weekly mileage from your training plan. Let's say you have 2.5 or 3 miles on your training plan. You could warm up for 10 minutes, do your magic mile, and then finish the rest of your workout. And also, don't worry if you cannot run 1 mile continuously. You can take a walk break every quarter mile. And this is exactly how I got started. I would run 1 length of the block and then walk at the corner until I felt like my heart rate was stabilizing and I wasn't out of breath. Then I would walk the next segment across. Then I would walk at the corner to bring my heart rate back down, then run down, walk again, run across, and walk again. So that is fine, and that is a metric of your current state. So as an example, I did this most recently. I was not feeling great that day, but I did it anyway. So you can see my first mile was slow. I was mostly walking. And then the second mile, I tried to give it my best effort. When I take this pace and put it into the Magic Mile calculator from Jeff Galloway, it is predicting that my 5K will be done in 46 minutes. My 10K will be done in 1 hour and 44 minutes. And it's also giving me a concept of what I can sustain for a long run. The reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is that new runners get excited and they tend to run too fast. And running too fast leads to injury. And then when you're injured, you cannot train. So you want to think of your long run pace as a speed limit for you. You can always go slower. We should be doing a magic mile every 2 weeks or so. That means you could incorporate that once or twice in your 8-week training session. It is not something that you will find on the training plan from Fit for Mom, but it's easily something that can be done. The reason why it's important to test yourself on these periodic time trials is that beginners tend to have a time goal in mind that they're training for. Let's say, oh, I want to finish my half marathon in under 2 hours. And that can be wishful thinking. For me, that would be wishful thinking. The Magic Mile is a reality-based assessment, and it's not very complicated. It has been found to make good predictions for hundreds of thousands of runners. Now, if you get faster, you can always adjust your training pace. It's not like you do this Magic Mile and then you use that to predict your training pace, and then you use that same training pace for the next 6 months. That's why you want to take another Magic Mile every couple of weeks to adjust as you're going along. Now, that gives me a segue into what is a long run and why should you be doing it. A long run is defined as any distance longer than you have done in the past 2 to 3 weeks. Why are long runs important? Because they build your endurance. Even if your goal is a 5K, you can improve your time by adding one long run at a very slow pace. The reason for this is that you're developing your muscles. You're giving your muscles more mitochondria, therefore to give you more energy. You're improving blood circulation because as you do these long runs, you're getting more blood capillaries to deliver oxygen and withdraw waste. You will train your body to burn fat more efficiently, and fat is an energy store. And humans, for example, ultra marathoners, they can run 100 miles, 150 miles, and the reason why is because they are able to mobilize fat as an energy source. I have had a really rough training cycle here in session 3. I have gotten COVID, I have gotten injured, it's been hot, and I got sick with the respiratory virus. So another question you may be asking is, how can I get back on the schedule after I've had a setback? The advice is just within the next week, get out there. Don't delay another week. You absolutely can walk all of your miles. You will still get endurance. And the good thing is about walking, people don't get injured doing a long walk. How far can you go? A rule of thumb is that you can double the distance of your current run. So for myself, my current runs are between 3 and 4 miles. So that would mean that I could safely walk 6 to 8 miles. And the next question or topic is, what is required for the midweek? I'm participating, let's say, in the weekend runs or longer runs. But why do I need to do midweek runs as well? Why do I need those 30 minutes or 45 minutes on weekdays? The reason why is because in order to maintain for maintenance of these physiological adaptations you gain on these long weekend walks or runs, you need your midweek maintenance runs in order for your body to keep these physiological benefits. And if you would like to run in your finish line race and you're not injured, try to actually run for 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be fast, but if you would like to run in your race, you should try to run your midweek runs. Now the good news is, I want to say this in conclusion, it is very possible for novices to finish the race they've been training for if they're following the training plan, even if they're only walking. One of the reasons why novices tend to do well on race day is because they have so much fear of failure, they actually follow the plan, the training plan that they're given. And you need to trust the plan. The schedule works and it will prepare you for race day. You're going to be successful. And race day is so good for the brain. You're going to learn that there's more inside of you than you ever thought you had. And you will activate feelings of success. You're going to feel worthy. And you're going to feel like you can do more next time. So even if you're tired, find a way to get out there and walk your miles that are on your training plan. And you will rise to the occasion. So that's all I have for you about the Magic Mile. I hope this was helpful in informing you and motivating you. And I'm right there with you, learning every step of the way. Have a great run!